I've never been so sure of anything before. Just like I'm in this moment, but once alone would be enough. Just take my hands and take my ring, 'cause I will always love you through anything I'll do. To talk back on different segment, for the engaging about marriage. Talk back OGINNI. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about all you need to know before you say I do.
Thank you for tuning in to Glorious Vision Television. My name is TOPE OGINNI. You are welcome to Before You Say I Do. This is where we educate the singles on all what they need to know, to have to do before they get into marriage. This is where we prepare the single, enlighten the singles on all what they need to know before saying I do. This is where we help the singles to get it right in the areas of their relationship. This is where we help you to know how to navigate your marital journey. This is where we teach everything that you need to know about relationship and marriage. This is where we help you to get the understanding of what marriage is all about, and to help you to examine yourself, to review your relationship, to get to know your partner, to know whether you are ready for the institution of marriage. This is what Before You Say is all about. You may be in your courtship stage, you may be engaged, you may have been proposed to, you may be and about to wed. As long as you have not said those words, I do. This program is something that I will recommend that you don't miss for anything, because you have a lot to gain that will really help you to navigate your marital journey. So on this note, I want to go on this short break. When I return, the program is just starting. Please don't go anywhere, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. It is still Before You Say I Do on Glorious Vision Television, the only program designed for all categories of singles to learn about relationship and marriage and how to navigate their marital journey. So on today's episode of Before You Say I Do, last week I started an interesting topic, a chapter from one of my books, how to know if you are ready for marriage, in chapter 7. And the objective of this is to let singles examine themselves. A lot of people want to get married, but they don't know why, they don't know how, they don't know what to do, they don't know what preparations are they supposed to, or they don't have the conviction that will tell them that they're actually ready. So this program helps you to examine yourself or review your relationship to know, instead of having a prolonged relationship, have a long-term relationship that at the end of the day, it will not end up into anything meaningful. This topic helps you to know whether where you are now, you are ready for relationship, or you are ready for marriage, or you are in your relationship and the level you are in your relationship, you are ready to move into marriage, or whether this relationship can get into marriage. And I said, like last week, I cited the example of myself that when you are not ready, you are not ready. If you have a personal goal, or you have some things that you are still pursuing that will not allow you to get ready for marriage, there is no harm in that. If you are not ready, you are not ready. It's better for you to know you are ready at once, for you to think that you are ready and you ended up into a bad relationship or bad marriage. And I gave several points. I mentioned several points as to how to know things that you have to review or examine in your life to let you know that you are actually ready before you can begin to take that step. So today we'll continue from where we stopped. We stopped on practical considerations. And I mentioned financial readiness, that you must be financially stable and responsible. You can be financially stable as in you have a good job, you have a good business, you have money, yes, but you must be responsible, as you should be able to manage your resources or your money wisely. If you are the type that you are not prudent, you don't know how to keep money. There was a story, I've shared this story once before, about a particular lady who is working in a bank and is in a relationship with a young guy like that. The guy, as at the time they met, he was not doing anything. And because she is a banker, she decided to empower him. He asked him that what kind of business or what kind of business can he do? And he mentioned some business and they look into it, and the lady promised to get loan to help him to start that business, which she did. And she gave him that money, the capital, to start the business. And she said after a while, she asked him, how is the business going? And the young man began to say one story that is not just right at all. So, and she felt bad. And she said, where is the capital? Where is the profit? Are you making profit? You could not account for the money. You could not account. She felt bad. She said she did it once, and she said, I'm sorry, this business, this area, he came up with some excuses. The lady said she believed him. She went ahead and still get him some money again when he came up with another business. She gave him some money again. The same thing happened. He said this time around, she now vowed that she's not going to give him any money. That's Nora, that the guy is trying to just take advantage of her simplicity, that she's nice, that why will he try to empower somebody that she wants to marry so that they can have a meaningful future, and you could not. This is what we are talking about, that you must not just be financially stable, you must also be financially responsible. You can see that from the story. This young man is not financially responsible. Now, he has opportunity to loans, to capital, to somebody who can assist him to be better, but he was not taking advantage of that. And as a result of that, the lady said she ended that relationship on that note. Wise one. Yes, I will advise her to do the same thing, which I told her when we had discussion, that if you are not seeing any improvement in this person, don't expect that you will get married to this person and this person will get better in your marriage. This person is already telling you, this is who I am. And for you to change who I am is going to be very difficult, especially in the area of money. So if you are okay with his attitude, I told her you can go ahead. If not, please just end this relationship and move on and continue to pray for God to bring a better person. So now, if you are not financially ready, even as a young woman, we have had stories of women too. I'm talking about people in marriage now, where their husband, we empower them, we give them money to go and start business, and the husband expects that they should be able to do some certain things with that money in that business. Like, you should be able to pay your rent, you should be able to buy other goods. To when your market, you feel that your market is going down, you should be able to put more money and that. But when you are in a business and you still go back to your husband to ask for shop rent, to ask for NEPA, to ask for money for this, for that, when you are into business, it shows that you are not financially responsible. So now, as a young man and woman, if you know this is your own status, you are not ready. You are not ready. So don't even go there. Don't even go there. So you must ensure that you are able to manage finances wisely and have a plan for your future. This is an aspect of marriage. This is an aspect of your life that will tell you that you are ready. You cannot go into marriage and you cannot account for your money, or you are not financially responsible, and you will be giving your partner trouble all the time. This is not good enough. When you will give somebody money and you cannot account, when they ask, you start fighting, then you come up with the fight that what is it? There are men like you outside there that they are buying house, they are building houses for their wife. You begin to say all sorts of things like that. Yes, but go and check those men that did that for their wife. You know that those wives, they have been able to show that they are responsible and they can be able, they're worth doing that for. It shows that you are not worth doing that for. So why are you fighting? So instead of you to go into marriage and begin to go and be fighting your husband or your wife over finances, ensure that you are financially responsible before you go into them. Life skills. Do you have the necessary life skills to manage a household, including responsibilities like knowing how to cook, knowing how to clean, knowing how to budget? Times the husband will give you money that will not be enough for what you need in the house. We need to do budgeting. Or both of you, your husband is working, you two, you are working, or you are into business, or either of you is into business or is a salary earner. Both of you have to budget. We have collected our salary for this month. We are paying so bills. We have to pay the children's school fees. We have to pay rent. We have to pay utility bills. We have church obligation. We have family obligation. These are the things that you must sit down together. So if you are not doing anything, or you don't understand this act of budgeting, that means you just be spending money anyhow. Once your salary comes into your hand, you spend it anyhow, and when you are asked, you can't even account for it. That's not good. It's a skill and you have to learn it. I know some people don't have it, but now I am telling you that these are some of the things that you must learn that will help you in your marriage. Most of the things that we learn as youth, as singles, as young ones, they are things that will help us in the future, either in our career, in our marriage, or where we are going, or wherever we are going to find ourselves in the future. They are the things that we are going to be needing. So it's very important. If you don't have them, you learn them. As a young man, you can't say that because you are the husband, you can't cook. Your wife will be pregnant. When your wife will be pregnant, there are some that when they are pregnant, they cannot do anything. They will be on bed rest. Some women, they will be advised to be on bed rest. When they are on bed rest, they cannot do anything. They have to be at the mercy of either their husband, or if they are housemates or people around them. So you as a husband, you will say you don't know how to cook. Then you want your wife to die of hunger, or you want her to be getting up and then she slumps. In order to avoid that, these are some of the skills. They are not too much for you. I know there are husbands who can cook, that sometimes they will just announce to the family, this weekend, I'm the one that is cooking in this home. I'm going to cook what everybody is going to eat. Fine. You don't have it, you can still learn it as a single young man. Don't be that kind of a person that you see yourself that you are too big, or you are above some certain skills. Is not right. So then, respond like time and home maintenance and planning. These are some of the skills that you should have. Time. Women, I know that women, most of our women are very guilty of this. I know that some men too, but I know it is common with our women. Time. That is when they are supposed to go out. That is when you are still tying gele. You are still doing makeup. You are still doing one thing or the other, and you keep every members of the family waiting. It is not just right. It is. I know it is happening to you too now. Even as a young lady, it's affecting you when you are supposed to be at a place 10 a.m. because of your makeup, because of your dressing, because of all of that. That took a lot of your time. You went late for that event or where you were supposed to be. Yes. So these are some of the responsibilities that you should have that will help you to contribute harmoniously to that marriage or to that relationship. And it's very important that you get all of these things, because it will show that you are a diligent person and you need wisdom. You need wisdom. You have to ask. The Bible says, in all you're getting, get wisdom. You are getting married, you are getting money, you are getting this, you are getting that. He said, in everything that you are going to get to, I will also advise that you get wisdom. Wisdom to do what? To manage every other thing that you get. So you need wisdom to manage your home. You must ask for it if you don't have it. If you know that you lack it, the Bible says, if you lack, is there anyone that lack it? So there can be people that lack wisdom. And that's why they act in such a way that you see in them that this person is not wise. This person lacks wisdom. You can pray to get them. So, because you will be needing them in your marriage, in your future marriage, and that's why you have to learn to get them now. Then, purpose and vision. Shared vision. Do you and your potential spouse share a similar vision for future? Or you as an individual, as a young man or woman, you should have a clear vision of where you are heading to in life. Career-wise, academics, if you are yet to sort that, you don't have any business going into any relationship now. You are yet to sort your academic status. You are still, like I cited like I mentioned in the first part of this series, I said, as at that time that a man approached me for a relationship, I was thinking about getting an admission into school, not a relationship. I was not thinking about any man or relationship. So if you are yet to have a clear vision of where you are heading to in life as per your goals, your personal goals, you don't have any business talking about relationship or even to the extent of marriage, of thinking about, I want to get married now. Because if you don't have anything you are doing, you don't have a job, you don't have a trade, you do not learn any trade, you don't have anything, what are you going to do in marriage? You are going into that marriage to become a liability to your spouse. As a man or as a woman, what are you going to do? So you should first of all sort your life. Is it that you want to face your academics now? Is it that after your academics, your first degree, you want to start work, or you will still want to go for your master's? your career, or is it that you're already working? You want to upgrade your career, you want to change your career, you want to ensure that the career you are doing right now is something that you can be able to feed yourself and feed the wife and the children that you are bringing into that marriage. These are the things that you should be able to look and sit down. Have you ever seen a man who wants to build a house that will not first of all sit down and look at the cost? What is it going to cost me to build a 2-bedroom bungalow, a 1-room apartment? The person has to think. The person will not just go and call a bricklayer, okay, oh yeah, start building. No, the person will ask you, sir, what do you want to bring? What kind of home do you want? So it is very important for you to first of all sit down and look at your life. Where are you now in terms of your career, in terms of your academics, in terms of your spiritual life, in terms of finance? Where are you? If you are able to answer these questions, then you know that I am ready. If you know that you have what it takes, that you can bring somebody into your life, she will not come into your life and be suffering and be suffering. I'm not saying that if you have vision that you cannot, but you must ensure that you have something that you can use to manage your future life. Then, have you set specific achievable goals for yourself, or are you still exploring your professional path? If you are still exploring, you still want to explore academics, you are still exploring life generally, you are not ready. You go and finish exploring before you come back and be talking about marriage. If you are still, some people, they are still exploring, they are still doing adventure, catching fun in areas. If that is where you fall into, you don't have any business talking about marriage now. When you have done with your adventurous life, or still exploring life, then you can come back and be talking. But now, just leave it the way it is. Then, seek godly counsel. Have you sought advice from trusted mentors, pastors, married couples who can offer wisdom and perspective? Are you open to receiving counsel from mature Christians? You want to get married. Do you have a mentor? Do you have somebody who is mentoring you, who is talking to you? Do you have counselors that you can reach out to if you are confused, that you can talk to them about your relationship or about life? Do you have all these people in your life? They can be couples, trusted couples, your pastor, they can be your neighbors, they can be members of your family, they can be your parents, but people that you know that they are wise, they are full of wisdom, they can advise you right, they can give you counsel that is positive, that will impact your life positively, that will influence your life positively. Do you have them right now? As a young person, do you have them? You should have them. If you don't, you should have them. Look out for them. They can be in your career. They can be people you are looking up to in that your career. They can be people that you are looking up to, maybe in terms of business, or in terms of marriage, or in terms of relationship. You should have them. You should have people who are guiding you now. You should not just be a loner. You should not wait till when you want to start a relationship or you want to start a marriage before you this. By the time you start coming across people who are approaching you for a relationship, or who you want to approach for a relationship, you already have pre-knowledge. You already have foreknowledge of what you want to do, or what you want to say, or where you are going. Not like you don't even have a clue of what relationship or marriage or what you want to do. And when you don't have where you are going, when you cannot stand for something, you fall for everything that comes your way. You should be able to stand for something so that you don't just fall for everything that comes your way. When you see your life going that direction, that you keep falling for everything, you don't have a specific goal for your own life. Somebody is learning how to sew. You too, you want to go and learn how to sew. Somebody is learning baking. You too, you want to join and rush. Is that part of the goals that you set for your life? If you are ready to or if you are ready to have a specific goal for your life that you are pursuing, yes, you are in school, but you are also learning some skills by the side, like how to bake, how to sew, how to manage things. These are skills, life skills that you can learn by the side, not like you are following. So if you are yet to answer the question, then you are not ready. You should be able to how to fulfill the purpose of God. For if you don't even know the purpose of God for your life, you cannot know the purpose of marriage, and you cannot understand the purpose of relationship. So these are the things that you must have reached a level that you understand the purpose of God, the purpose of marriage, the purpose why you want to go into that relationship in the first place. If you cannot answer any of these questions, there's no reason for you going into relationship or saying to yourself that I am ready for marriage. My dear brother, my dear sister, do you want to hear? You are not ready. You are just in the process, and it's better you follow due process that we really. I want to go on this short break. When I return, the program continues. Please don't go anywhere, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. It is still Before You Say I Do on Glorious Vision Television, the only program that talks to all categories of singles and educates singles on all what they need to know, have, and do before saying I do. On today's episode of Before You Say I Do, I've been using one of my books, Making the Right Decision, to teach on how to know if you are ready for marriage, if you are ready, how to know. A lot of young ones think that they are ready. They imagine, they think, they feel. These are just feelings, and these are just thinking, and these are just imaginations. They are not facts. So the only way you can know is when you come across teaching like this that help you to examine yourself and review your relationship or yourself or your partner to know whether you are actually ready for marriage before you start planning, before you start preparing. So that is what we have been talking about. So now, the next point is accountability. Accountability. Are you a part of a supportive Christian community? Do you belong to a church or Christian community? Do you have a community that will hold you accountable in your relationship? Being surrounded by a strong community is essential for healthy marriage. Marriage is meant to be lived out. So do you have a community which you know that they can hold you accountable if you are not doing it right in your relationship? Do you have a community, or do you have a group of people that they can call you to order? If you are yet to have people who can call you to order, I know those who are married who have reached out to me will say when they're having issues, and like, okay, can't you talk to your pastor? They say we have discussed about this issue, but the things still remain unresolved. Okay, then I will advise that maybe for those who are far away, I'll say you can also talk to your pastor, and he will say, I cannot talk to my pastor. He must not hear that I talk to my pastor. He must not even hear that I talk to you too. He must not hear that I talk to anybody. So if you are that kind of a person that people cannot talk to, you are not ready for marriage. If you are the type that people cannot, if anything happens that people cannot call you to order, you don't have people that you are accountable to, you are not ready for marriage. Because there are times that people will need to talk to you, some things will be done, and people will need to sit you down, advise you, and counsel you. So if you are the type that you are rigid, that you feel that you know it all, nobody can talk to you, you are beyond talking to, then you are not ready for marriage. Don't just go there. If that is the kind of mindset or the kind of life or the kind of attitude that you are carrying about that nobody can talk to me. And you are in a relationship with somebody like that who will always tell you that nobody can talk to me. If you like, go and talk to my mother. If you like, go and meet my dad. Talk to me at all, please. You are not ready. You are not just for marriage. Then readiness for sacrifice and service. Are you ready to put your spouse need before your own? Are you ready to put your spouse need? There are times that you have to put your spouse's need before your own. Yes, you have money. You have money in your hand. You want to do something with that money. But something came up again that is emergency, that has to that make you to release that money for that emergency for the sake of your partner. Can you do that? Are you sure you are not selfish? Are you sure you are not saying that I can't do that, so this money I want to use it? Or when you are supposed to be in a place and your partner is not feeling well, he or she is on admission and you are supposed to go and check on them, you are supposed to run around for them, you are just thinking about yourself. My job, I can't quit my job. I cannot quit my job for a day. I can't do that. If that is who you are now, you are not ready. Are you saying that so if you get married to him or her, you cannot make sacrifice, you cannot serve your wife, you cannot serve your husband? If that is the kind of mentality that you are still carrying as a young man or woman, you are not ready for marriage, because marriage is not about selfish ambition. It's not about selfish. It is about valuing the other person. You must value your spouse. You must value your partner. You must both value each other. So if your own kind of person is that you are, it is more about yourself. You see some husbands and wives, when they go for events, you will see the way the husband will be well dressed, and you see the wife that will be shabbily dressed. How on earth will you and your wife want to go out on an event and you will not check? Both of you must look out for each other. You must look out for your dressings. You must see that your wife too is okay. So that when you get to that party or that event and people said, where's your wife? Oh, she's over there. You'll be happy. You'll be glad to say she's over there. Not when they look at you and they look at your wife. They cannot even match the two together. They begin to wonder where you are pointing to your wife and somebody is looking at somebody else behind, because they can't see you and that person you are pointing into. That is not right. So if you are the type of person that you always like to look out for yourself, even as a young man, and you know yourself, once you look good, you are well kept, your shoe, your everything is okay, you are less concerned about your partner. You are not ready for marriage, because you must both be looking out for yourself. You don't go outside and people begin to tell you, your husband, that this your hair is too bushy. Didn't your wife tell you before you left home? Didn't your wife tell you that you didn't knot your tie very well? That's not right. That means that your wife is not looking out for you, and you two, you are not looking out. So if you still carry this selfish ambition around, you are not ready, because in marriage, you are going to be sharing a lot of things. I have stories of wives or husbands who will not allow their wife to use their car, who will not allow their wives to use their laptop, who will not allow their wife to use their things. Marriage, you are going to be sharing things together. There are times that you'll be at home and your wife will want to go out. She will tell you that, honey, please, can I use your car? Honey, please, I want to do an assignment. Please, can I use your laptop? So if you are the type that you are selfish, that means, no, I know husbands like that. They will say, no, you can't use my car. You can't use my laptop. You can't use my thing. If you are like that, you are not ready for marriage. You still need to go and work upon this area of your life before you say I do, or before you think about marriage, so that this type of thing will not be bringing issue and disagreement where you have a wife that cannot touch your things. I wonder when some wives reach out to me and say, my husband, I can't use my husband things, that he will be shouting, he will be, no, he's not supposed. So if you that you have not said I do, you happen to fall into this, please, you should know that your children will use your things. Your wife, they will use your things. So if you are not ready to go into marriage to meet all these things, then don't get married. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. So then, marriage is about serving one another in love as Christ served the church. Are you prepared to serve and support your spouse wholeheartedly? You should answer that question. Are you ready to serve them wholeheartedly without hiding anything or bringing anything back? So then, prayer and peace you need. Have you prayed about this decision? Seek God's guidance through prayer asking him to reveal his will for you and your relationship. Listen for his peace as it is a sign of his approval. Have you sought confirmation through prayer, scripture, circumstances that we align with God's will? So another thing that will make you to know that you are ready is after you have prayed to God, you have heard from God, you have confirmed from God that this young lady, this young man is the will of God for you. You have been able to pray, God has spoken, you have listened, you have heard from God, and you have confirmed that she is the will of God for me, is the will of God for me. Then you can begin to say you are ready for marriage. Without hearing expressly from God, you are not ready. If God is still silent, I know some of you will come up and say, Mommy, I've been praying, but God, please, I tell them, continue to be patient. God will speak. Oh, how long should I wait? Don't worry. When it gets to that time, you will know. God cannot be quiet. God will surely say something. It may be that you are expecting God to speak. He may not want to speak, but he may show you a sign to tell you that is the one, is not the one. The person may do something. Okay, now look at it. A man said, I prayed to God about a lady that I'm in a relationship with, and I've been expecting God to give me a response, which is like it's taking time. But do you know what happened? In the course of still continue to pray, I went to meet my pastor. My pastor said I should still be patient, that I will surely, God will get back to me. And he said in the course of still waiting for God to speak, this lady just, I don't know, maybe I should use this word, though, that mistakenly another man impregnated her, which shows that even from the onset, she's not the will of God for this man, for this brother at all. And that's why when the brother was praying, God was silent, because God knows that the lady is having multiple relationship. This man is not the only one that this lady is having relationship with. So God decided to keep quiet. The brother did not hear it, that God said she's not the one. But through sign or circumstance, the brother said that, so at least you cannot tell me that is a day, you met somebody a day and you just got pregnant in a day. That means you must have been seeing this person at the same time you are seeing me. And that was what ended that relationship. So, like I said, a sign to you is, another thing is, after you have prayed, you must experience peace. That is the confirmation. You must experience peace. If you have prayed and you are still experiencing doubts, fear, anxious about the relationship, about that person, that means something is not just right. And you should just listen to your instinct. Don't discountenance your instinct. Please go back and continue to pray for clarity. So if you have prayed and you are not at peace, even over the prayer, over that person, you are having doubt. Anytime you see this person or you remember this person, you are always afraid. You are anxious, you are fearful, you are not yourself. You are feeling that something is not like I'm not supposed to be in this relationship. I think I'm not doing something that is right. That is a sign to tell you that something is not all right yet. So don't go ahead to propose or accept this person's proposal until you have that inner peace, that you are happy. Anytime you see this person, you are excited, you are happy, you know that God is in this love story. Then the next thing is that you must be sure that naturally you like this person. Naturally you like this person. Everything about this person, even though you know that this person has some weaknesses, you like them with it. You know from the onset that this person have this disability, and you still want to go ahead because you are sure that is the one and she's the one for you. You are not afraid of anything about this person. So these are some of the signs that will tell you that, yes, so you are ready for marriage. But if you are yet to, if your reason for going into marriage is because everybody is getting married around you, your siblings are getting married, or because the society has begun to say some things about you that won't you go and get married, You want to get old before you start sending your children. You know, I hear a lot of things that people say to people. But my own is this. I always tell people, whose report will you believe? Is it the report of the people or the report of God? What is God saying concerning your life? What is the purpose that God is showing to you? What is God's purpose for your life? Have you been able to discover yourself? You know, there's a difference between self-discovery and God's purpose for your life. So if you are yet to discover God, to discover yourself, one, and again, to know the purpose of God for your life, I think you need to go and work on these two first, even before you go into a relationship, because it's very important that you discover who you are. Who are you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What is it that you can take, and what is it that you often react to? This will form your decision about the kind of person that you are supposed to be in a relationship with. Then, what is God's purpose for your life? What is God's calling for your life? This is a ministry for me. This is a calling for me. Have you been able to discover the purpose God created you? What is the purpose of God for your life? You should be able to know. All these things will help you to know the kind of person that you should go, the who that you should go into a relationship with. If not, if you don't understand this area of your life, if you ended up getting into a relationship with the wrong person, it will affect the calling of God for your life. It will affect the purpose of God for your life. We have a lot of people that have God's calling for their life, and as a result of joining forces with ungodly person or ungodly, unequally yoked with somebody, today they can't even make reference. They can't even find that calling again. They can't even remember the calling again. They can't even understand the calling, because as a result of meeting that person now, then I've been able to shift aside the purpose and the calling of God for their life. They are now working in somebody else's calling. You have your calling, I have my calling. My husband has his calling, I have my calling. All we need to do is to support each other's calling. You should be able to reach a level in which you are able to understand your calling. The calling of this person I met is singing. She has a singing ministry. She has a cooking ministry. She has a teaching ministry. These are ministries. So when you're able to know, by the time they meet you, they should not give up on their calling because they meet you. You should help them. You should support them to grow their calling, their ministry that God has given unto them. By knowing you, they should be able to find themselves. People should not know you and they can't even remember their names anymore. People should not meet you and they can't be able to remember their calling or their ministry anymore. That means that you are not making any impact in the life. And if you happen to be a young man or young lady in a relationship like that, I will advise that you end such relationship. That is not going to take you anywhere. If you think that it is still okay now, it's not okay. Then another thing that you should know that will make you to know that you are ready is that are you the kind of person that you are quick to eat somebody? You are quick to eat somebody. If somebody offends you, you are quick to slap, to eat, to kick somebody. You won't be doing that when you get married. That's an example of an abusive person. That means you're an abusive person. You are going to be creating a toxic relationship with whoever that you find yourself with. So you should go and work upon yourself. What am I saying in all essence is that there are lots of you singles that you still need to work on yourself. There are some areas of your life that you still need to work upon before you say I do. Don't just rush into any relationship. Don't just rush into marriage because, yes, he's handsome, she's beautiful, or you can see some particular talent or something in this person that attracts you. Yes, there must be an attraction, I know. But after that attraction, you need to take your time to get to know this person beyond the attraction. Who is he? Who is she? Beyond that attraction, beyond that beauty. Does this person have intelligence? Does this person have other things? How about the fruit of the Spirit? Do they have self-control? Are they loving? Are they kind? Are they generous? Are they people who are proud, who are full of ego, so that you don't rush yourself into something that you later be full of regrets? I was only attracted and I just got attracted to that her beauty. I just got attracted to his status, his class status, his connection. And that was why I accepted the proposal from him. I didn't even take my time. Don't wait till when you begin to say all of these things. These are the things that you should look into in your partner and even into yourself as a young person too. Then call to action. If after reflection and prayer you find that you are ready, if after reflecting on all these points and you have prayed, you have gotten the confirmation, you find that you are ready, then move forward with your faith, trusting God to lead you and guide you in this new chapter of your life. That is when you can now begin to pray and begin to trust God for that partner, for that young man, for that young woman, for that life partner to come. If you sense that more growth is needed, if you sense that you still need more growth, or you still need to work upon yourself, or you still need some areas to work upon, then take your time to deepen your relationship with God and work upon yourself and develop the qualities that will make you a faithful and loving spouse in the future. Pray earnestly about your readiness for marriage. Seek counsel from trusted Christian mentors or people that you know that you can trust, and take actionable steps to grow in areas where you are lacking. If you are serious about marriage, prepare yourself now. Are you willing to commit to this preparation? This is a question that you need to answer as you are watching me. After saying everything, after all that I have said so far, have you been able to look into your life, into your relationship, to know that, yes, with all this that she has been saying in the last 2 weeks, I know that I am ready. I can go to God and ask for direction, leading, and guidance on what to do next. In conclusion, marriage is a beautiful and sacred union, but it is not something to rush into. Marriage is a sacred covenant that requires careful preparation, self-discovery, and a deep relationship with God. As a Christian young single, it is important to assess your readiness in all these key areas and seek God's guidance in making this life-changing decision. You need God. You need to build your relationship with God. Having said all of this, you need God's guidance, direction, and leading in all that I've been saying so far. That is the most important. Allow God to lead you and direct you as how to go, how to navigate all these things. It will help you a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who has been part of today's episode of Before You Say I Do. And I want you to continue to pray for wisdom, clarity, and understanding from God to lead you. You need it. Seek God's will in all your relationships and your future marriage. You should start praying now. Have you been praying about your relationship and your future marriage? Start doing that now. Then, for many of you that you are still holding on to the hurts, to your past hurts, your past trauma, your past wound because of your past relationship, the person offended you, you invested your time, your resources, your money, and they disappointed you, and because of that you have refused to move on. I want to beg you that you should please move on. The person you are still holding grudge against, the person has moved on. He or she is married and has started a family. You are still in a spot. You are still maritally stagnant. You need, people have prayed for you, and you too have prayed. God have answered your prayer. You are the one that you are still holding yourself to that spot. You need to move on. And as you do that, the Lord will help you in Jesus' name. To this, I've come to the end of this series, how to know if you are ready for marriage. For all your questions, for all your counseling, for your prayers, for anything that you need to know about your relationship or about this program, don't hesitate to drop it on that WhatsApp number that is scrolling on your screen. And you can also watch the repeat broadcast on Saturday at 1 p.m. or join us on our Facebook page on Tuesday at 9 p.m. I want to say thank you to everyone who has been part of today's episode. Thank you, production crew, for making today's production a great success. Until I come your way again on another exciting episode of Before You Say I Do, I remain your host, TOPE OGINNI. Don't forget, on Before You Say I Do, we will always help you to make the right decision before you say I do. Thank you, and bye.
'Cause I've never been so sure of anything before. Just like I'm in this moment, but was alone would be enough. Just take my hands and take mine, 'cause I will always love you. anything I'll do to buy you on different segment. You know, for the engaging about TOPE, OGINNI, you know. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about God.